Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the Rise Fitness and Nutrition Podcast. I am your host Carlo. Today we're going through the remaining 5 questions over fat loss that I have been asked in the past few months. How many of the new questions were you going to ask me? Let me know on my Instagram channel at thecarl.fit. Also, one thing, if you like this podcast, please share it with your family and friends. That helps a lot. Happy listening. Yes. Last week we saw the first 5 most recurring questions or fat loss that have been asked over the course of the past few months. And let's focus on the other 5. I don't want to leave you waiting. The rules of the game are the same. How many of these questions were you going to ask me if you had the chance? Be honest. Question number 6. How much cardio I need to lose fat? Again here, breaking news, you don't need cardio to lose fat. I know. Are you sitting down? Because this is a big shot. Everywhere you look online, Instagram or magazines, websites or magazine. Who reads magazine anymore? I don't know. Anyway, whenever you search for best way to lose fat, I am pretty sure that most of the time cardio comes up. And if it doesn't come up when you search online, I am sure that your friend, or wink wink, a friend of a friend, suggested you to perform hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of cardio every week to lose fat, and this is the best way, man. Trust me. Well, whoops, sorry to break that to you, but this is not true. Once again, I call to my support the 2 most powerful words in the world of fitness and body recomposition: calorie deficit. Oh yeah, if you are in calorie deficit, it doesn't matter if you do cardio or not. You will lose fat and lose weight over the course of a consistent amount of time. Now, as I said in other podcasts, doing cardio is good for you no matter what. It's good for your heart, it's good for your health, both physical and mental. So if doing cardio makes you feel good mentally, and in brackets, it makes you feel good also physically, please keep doing so. But if your goal is to lose fat and you hope to lose fat just by doing cardio, but you are not focusing on the right type of diet and nutrition, well, sorry, but that doesn't work. Whoops. Question number 7. What's the best type of training to lose fat then? Well, that sounds reasonable. If cardio is not the magic wand that will make you lose fat, what does? Well, okay, let's forget about calorie deficit for once. Although you still have to be in calorie deficit to lose fat. Anyway, given that you are in calorie deficit, do you need to do any sport? Well, yes, it's better for your health. But what type of training is better if you wanna to make your fat loss process more efficient? Honestly, I don't have a specific answer. I personally think that strength training is the best bang for your bucks, because it will help you build muscle, and the more muscles you build, the easier it will be to maintain your body composition in the first place. And secondly, being strong is awesome. But not everybody likes to do strength training, and I understand. So to answer your question, what's the best type of training to lose fat? Well, actually, anything that makes you active and that you enjoy is the best form of exercise. If you like walking with your dog for miles and miles every day, that's awesome. That's a great way to train yourself. Do you like to go hiking? Yes, that's marvelous. You like rock climbing? Whoa, I couldn't think of anything better than that. The reason behind this is because you choose an activity that you like, that you enjoy, and that you want to do. Because I can go ahead and tell you, well, you have to go to the gym and do deadlift and squats and bench. But if you don't like that, you will not do it. Therefore, it would not be the best one for you. So find something that you like, you enjoy, makes you feel active, and potentially socialize, and stick to it. You'll do great if you are in calorie deficit. Now then, question number 8. What's the best diet to lose fat? Well, actually, the one and only diet you need to lose fat is the one where you are in, surprise, surprise, calorie deficit. Okay, let's forget about it for a second again. What is the best nutrition for you? Well, again, it's a matter of preferences. And it's a matter of what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy. Because I could tell you, you should go vegan because that's the best way, but I would be lying. I can tell you, oh, you have to go keto because that's the only way to go. But again, I would be lying. I think that the best way to have the right nutrition for you is to find what you like and then what you don't like, and understanding the balance between the good and the bad things. And let's understand first of all that there's no inherently good food or bad food, because both of them have the right space in a balanced nutrition plan. What matters in a diet is to have high protein. Yes, absolutely, because protein makes you feel full. Protein helps you build muscle when you do the right type of exercise, and protein helps your body to maintain the lean mass when you're in a calorie deficit, and therefore you are using fat to produce energy, to make sure that you also don't lose muscle in the process. Given that, in a balanced nutrition plan, there's space for everything. There's space for the quote-unquote healthy choices, but there's also space for the quote-unquote unhealthy choices. And again, I don't necessarily believe in healthy or unhealthy choices because, again, everything has a space. But if you want a slice of cheesecake, or if you want pizza, if you want pancakes, if you want ice cream, if you want, I don't know, frappuccino from Starbucks, it's fine. As long as you are aware that these types of food are very calorie dense and not necessarily rich in nutrition, first. Secondly, since they are very high calories, they had to have a space in your diet. That doesn't mean that we're going to forget about those forever. It just simply means that you need a balance. So maybe instead of having pizza Monday, then pancakes Tuesday, cheesecake on Wednesday, and then frappuccino the rest of the days, maybe you can choose one of those and have them maybe once or twice a week. So that to say that you don't have to destroy your habits entirely, you can still keep the things that you like as long as you're in a calorie deficit, and you will still lose fat. Question number 9. I can't lose fat. Is it my genes? No. No. Okay, so the number of people that really cannot lose fat for some sort of genetic disorder or for some sort of disease are a very limited percentage. Let's take it from there. Now, for the rest of people like you and I, it's not in your genes. And if you think that you have done everything you possibly could in the best possible way, in a consistent amount of time, tracking everything you have done, nutrition-wise, sport-wise, and still there is no change at all in your body, if you are 100% sure that you really have done everything you could, well, maybe you can go ahead and consult a doctor. But believe me, most of the time, even if we think we have done everything that we could, we didn't. And the only way to find this out is being very honest and to seriously write down and track every single thing we do, because chances are we are doing something wrong. And it's common, and I'm guilty myself. I was thinking that I was eating enough, but my body was not changing. I actually was losing weight, and I realized that, hell, I was not eating enough at all, despite thinking that I was. And I started to write down what I was eating, starting to pay attention to actually what I was having, and surprise, surprise, my body started to change. So seriously, if you think that your body cannot change, if your body composition cannot change, that you cannot lose weight because your genes or your hormones or whatsoever are wrong, most of the time, sorry, but you might be wrong. So you need to really be careful what you do, write it down, track it for a consistent amount of time, and then, only then, you can understand if there's actually something going on within your body, or if it was a simple problem of consistency and sticking to the plan. Question number 10, and also the last question. I tried my friend's diet, but it doesn't work. What am I doing wrong? Well, it's already in the question. You tried your friend's diet. Why would you do that? Your friend is completely different from you. It's comparing Apple to cars. They got nothing in common. And of course, if you tried something that works for car, it will not work for apples, and vice versa. So trying someone else's diet, it doesn't work. Now, what does work is the principle behind a diet that we talked about that already, which is keep your protein high and adjust carbohydrates and fats according to the quantity of protein and the daily calories that you should have. Now, if you did try this type of principle and adapted it to your values and to your body goals and to your body composition, that's another story. But if you took your friend's diet as it is, values included, and you try them on yourself, well, no, that's a recipe for a disaster. Well, maybe not a disaster, but that's a recipe for failure, because everybody's unique. Everybody has specific needs in terms of macronutrients, so your needs might be different from your friend's needs, and therefore it doesn't make any sense to take the diet as it is and apply it to yourself. So once again, figure out your amount of protein that you should get daily, and then based on that, you will get the other two macronutrients in place, carbohydrates and fats, and then you should basically match them to the daily calories you need. As mostly easy as that. Let's imagine that you have to have 1800 calories. Now, among those 1800 calories, take your protein first as a priority, and then everything else will fall into place. But don't take anybody else's values and diet as they are and apply them to yourself, because that doesn't really work. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this mini series on the most recurring questions over fat loss. And I don't know how many of those you had in mind before listening to these episodes. I'll be curious to hear about that. You can reach me out on my Instagram channel at thecarl.fit. And if you enjoy this podcast, please share it with family and friends and leave a 5-star review over Apple Podcasts. That helps a lot. Thank you.